This is recording. So in this video, I'm not going to read a poem, which is kind of weird for me. So I'm just talking usually. But if you don't like me talking, then you shouldn't watch this. Just wait for a better video. But anyways, I was gonna read a poem, but the poem I was gonna read was kind of aimed at someone, not like in a bad way, but it was more personal, and I don't feel right about reading it, so I'm not going to. But I'm going to be talking about letting people go that you care about. So, it'll be a very interesting topic because, yeah, kind of dealing with it, coming out of dealing with it, I guess. And so I'm not really an expert or a pro at dealing with it and talking about it, but I'm going to try to talk about it anyways. I know there's one person who's going to watch this, and I know that this person needs to hear this, and so I hope that's going to help. But I haven't dealt with a lot of people just leaving in my life. Well, I have, but like letting people go, kind of leaving. And I've only dealt with like one person constantly leaving. Like they come back for a little bit, and then we get attached. I get attached to that person, and then they just kind of leave again. And then it does like 3 times, and it's like the same thing over and over and over. And yeah, it gets easier to let person go after all that time. But it's still never really easy. And yes, I did write notes, so if I'm looking down a lot, I'm sorry, because all the trains in my head have been colliding and crashing, and it's not good. So I had to write these notes. So yeah, you don't have to watch me, okay? You could just listen if you want. Anyways, I have to get this out of my head. This whole thing about this mindset that the world always says that when you find someone that you love and who understands you and stuff, and it means everything, who changes your life and stuff, you never let them go. That really, really ticks me off, because that's so messed up. Like, that could mean a lot of different things, and I get like that you don't want to let people go, but that can be really selfish at the same time. It really just depends on the person that you're not wanting to let go. And I think that letting go of people does a lot more at times than holding on to people. I think that if you really love someone, then you let them go. But yeah, that's just my own personal thing of what I think about that, which everyone probably disagrees with me because I'm usually the one who everyone disagrees with. But anyways, I'm going to say what I've learned about letting people go, and it's going to be like 4 points, so I'm going to split this video in half because it's going to be way long and no one will watch it. Well, no one will watch it anyways, but still, it will be shorter. It will feel shorter. So the first thing I'd say about learning to let people go that I've learned is, the first is I've learned not to hold people back from like living their lives. And because I get really close to people, and I always want to talk to them and stuff, and that gets to nagging, and that ends up being really selfish. And when I step back and look at all of that as one big thing, then I realize how selfish I'm being, and that's basically holding them back and not letting them do what they want to, which is wrong on my part. Even if that person doesn't like want anything to do with me and stuff, like, maybe that might be wrong on that person's part, but it's wrong on my part to not let somebody go and to always want them to be there for me and stuff. And so just basically to let people live their lives and not try and always be there and always want them to be there for you, because sometimes people can't do that because life won't let them, and sometimes people just want to live their lives and not have anything to do with you. That sounds mean, but sometimes that's what needs to happen, is that that's the best way to show that you care about them, is letting them live their lives. And so yeah, that's the first point. I'm sorry for the sudden change of lighting and my sweatshirt change. I had to go to work and my camera died, so yeah, it's been like an hour or something since I last recorded the other part. Yeah, because my camera's retarded, it keeps cutting me off, so I have to do it parts, I'm sorry. But I'm going to finish this now, So, second point that I've learned or whatever is learning not to let the whole "you're not worth it" thing get too much into your head. that's something that I'm probably going to have to learn a lot and over and over and over in my life, because I'm never going to really get it. I'll sooner get the other points in these videos before I get this one, because I'm just that way. But I have to explain it now. So I think it's important when you're letting people go to consider reasons maybe why it kind of all fell apart. And you know, you might not be the victim in this one. We all think that we're the victim because we're all that way, we're all humans. And so maybe we were being the jerk in your situation or whatever. That's kind of important to consider, because then it's on your part, not on the other person. Maybe it is on the other person, but it's good to consider that. But I think that there's a line to be drawn when you are considering that, not to think too much of it, because then it's just going to be a big mess in your mind. It's not going to be fun to clean up. And so I think it's important to consider it, but I think that people consider it too much at times. At least I know that I do, because then I realize that the person, I didn't do anything wrong really on my part. I was just being myself, and that person obviously didn't think I was worth it, because if they thought I was worth it, then they would have stuck around and cared about our friendship, relationship, whatever you call it. And she could probably explain that if you really think about it, every relationship, no matter what it is, with your grandma or your dad or your uncle or something, whatever it is, no matter if it's a big relationship or a small relationship, it's all a relationship. They're all relationships, I guess, and they all require a lot of commitment. Maybe it's a little bit of commitment, maybe it's a lot. And either way, whether or not you want to look at people having lists in their head of important people and how much they want to spend, how much time they want to spend on you or whatever, everyone has those lists. And you probably do, and I know I do. And so, just realizing that when people don't want to be your friend or whatever, they're basically saying you're not worth it, and yeah, that hurts, that sucks, and that doesn't make you feel good. But as a Christian, I think that it's important to remember that you're not living for any man on earth. You are living for God. That's the only reason we were placed here. And I mean, God cares about you. In His eyes, you are not worthless at all. And I mean, we were worthless before we were saved, but then God called us out of darkness and chose to save us. And in His eyes, we are valuable. And that's so comforting, and it's incredible to know that. But just to remember that we're not worthless in God's eyes, and that we're valuable in His eyes, and even in like our family's eyes or friends. Like, we have friends and family, we all do, who value us, and we have to look at those people. We can't just be focused on one person and then believe whatever they say. That's not right, okay? And so just remember that as a Christian, we shouldn't just totally think that we're not worth it or anything like that, and totally discount everything that we do and say just because of one person. That's just not right. And yeah, we're not living for man, we're living for God, and that's really important to remember. And so this ends the second video. So first video, I'm sorry, I'm tired. And I will make another video in the near future. And so thank you for watching. I'll do that other 2 points soon. Sorry I couldn't get to it. My mind is just, I'm blabbering about nothing. Anyways, thank you.